Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Legion Lads. I am your host, JR. And today I got with me Jose. What's up, man?
Yo, yo.
Well, man, I just want to give you a shout out. I think you did an awesome job hosting the podcast last week. Uh, what
50
was,
Shades of Nick.
yeah, what was going on with Nick, man? He had some spicy takes for the Rebels. I thought he'd love it.
Well, he just got done playing the game with Edward, so we'll have to get him back on to get his like in-depth analysis because everything he said was like, I didn't play a game, which made that episode hilarious because like you have three dudes who have yet to play the game just going in.
Yeah, talking about it. Yep, yep. It's funny because yeah, I think they talked about the game in the Discord. And Nick said that he won the game based off
Barely.
objective, but a lot of his guys died. And I'm just like, so the Rebels are good then because you won.
I don't know. I agree with Nick. They're gonna like I think they're not CIS, so they don't have all the extra hit points. So I think they're gonna if they get into shootouts, which this
What
game
do you
is,
mean
Rebels
extra
are
hit
not.
points? What does that even mean?
What do you mean, Mister? I got 100 plus wounds and a B1 body spam to his little ten man rebels.
What is that? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not a Rebel player. It just looks like a lot of the changes are good for the Rebels. One thing I did disagree with you guys when I was watching the podcast was the Rebel Troopers. I think they're better now because they have agile and nimble. It's like, sure, you'll get a dodge, and then potentially two dodges. Someone will shoot at you. You're always gonna take a hit off the top because you're always gonna have a dodge because you're always gonna have nimble procking. And like I feel like since I've only got 3 games under my belt, this is still very much an objective game. And if you can hunker down on the objectives long enough, you I feel like you'll win the game. But I think the understanding and the problem is that it's since you want to reach 12 points as quickly and fast as possible, holding on to those objectives might become problematic the longer the game goes. And I think that's where it starts coming a kill game.
I mean, from listening to the last episode of Scoundrels, I mean, Dash was hitting 12 and by round three, like in his game against Rebels, like he
Sure.
was just you're out before turn three. Like that's crazy to me. Like, yes, the Rebels have defensive tech, and that's what scares me about this new change. I think red dice are really going to be where it's at. Because it feels like just on paper what it feels like. Like I haven't played yet. I'll probably play in a couple weeks.
Mm.
But it just seems like if this is a kill race, kill points game, like it doesn't matter like how many objectives or how you hold it. Like once you hit 12, you hit 12. And every podcast I've heard said, pretty much says the same thing that, you're down like 1 or 2 units, like opening turn one, like
Yeah.
it's super aggressive. And so I think that, I can't weigh too much in on Nick and Edward's game because the thing about Nick and Edward is they run fun, janky lists. Like,
Mm.
you're not facing Nick wasn't facing EX Cheese. He wasn't facing Gar 501st. He wasn't facing nothing like that. Like if you're telling me that Rebels are gonna last long enough in a gunfight against 501st, which is kind of what like so when Dash was talking about his game, his friend was playing Rebels, but he was playing Wookiees. You turn three Wookiees. Like you know how many wounds that is? So that's what kind of scares me. I feel like the Rebels got all that defensive tech because they're entering into what it seems like it's gonna be a kill race, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand why everybody feels that way because it's very much become an alpha strike game where you want to alpha on turn one because scoring doesn't start until the end of turn two. It's like,
Turn two.
so the first round is what can I kill as quickly as possible before the scoring round starts so I can better have an advantage going into that. And my thing has always been put more LOS. If there's more LOS, then it solves a lot of the issues.
I
Um,
only agree with that now because cover is
it's different.
so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
janky. Sorry for the cuss word, Nick. But it's like you used to always guarantee. heavy cover, two off the top. I got a dodge. That's three. I got three guaranteed if I have situational awareness. Like now it's like you roll to see if you got cover. Like
Yeah, it's very
that.
swingy. It's very swingy.
And I think that's why, we're never gonna get like them, AMG being like, that's why we added double corp into the regular core to kind of ease the swingy because if I'm running invasion force and I got eight B1s with eight B1 recruits in there, I don't care how swingy those dice are, I got extra bodies, I'm good. But like I feel like that's just it's pushing you to take those ones because I can totally see a white 4 or 5 man squad just getting just deleted, just because your cover roll was bad.
Yeah, I played a game with Geonosians. Oh,
They're so good, right?
they're so good now. Like, because you get that free jump, so you get to move onto the board for free, and then you can either move and attack. It's like if you're shooting me at range 4, then that means that I move twice to shoot at you. If you're shooting me at range 3, I just move once to shoot at you, and then I double it up. It's 20 dice coming at you.
Yeah.
It's
Somebody made a good point that the big squads
Mhm.
just feel like fire support squads.
Sure. It's cool. It looks cool and thematic, and it's just like it's fun to play, right?
You're
Um,
saying old Legion wasn't fun to play?
I'm saying very much Old Legion was very gimmicky, right? This one I feel like you could do whatever you want. You could have multiple big squads. You could fill out your acts. Like I like the 1,000 points. I think that's amazing. Um, I was actually gonna pull up a list that I've been working on is
Uh-oh.
Ewoks. So my
Oh God, it's gonna be like 16 acts, something dumb, right?
it's the 14 act list, right? It's got Han Solo, but instead of Chewie, it's got Leia, and then I got Wicket, Legray, C3PO. I got four skirmishers with the skirmisher squads in it, with fortress dwellers, and then two of those skirmishers I have the axe, and then three slingers with the squads. So I'm running, was it 4 and 6, 10, and then that's 10 squads of Ewoks, or sorry, 10 Ewoks in a squad, aside from two of those, which get the extra axe guys. That's 60, that's 62. Then you got the slingers, that's 90 Ewoks, not counting Wicket, Legray, and all those other guys.
That doesn't scare you with the cover system and the big squads
Well,
now?
that the beautiful thing is they got low profile, so they'll take in one right off the top, right? And
Yeah, that's fine, but then you get hit with a charging fives with a shotgun and a double squad.
okay,
That's
how many
crazy.
dice is that?
That's crazy.
If you shoot that at me, if and I survive, now I'm in range to charge you, right? I don't, it's a
Let me
14 act on
see.
top of that.
I know, but it's just so my thing is like I played LVO, I played the Ewok guy who made top eight,
Yeah.
and like they were pretty squishy against Anakin Pikes. And that was with the low profile with the old cover system. And I'm just like I'm just finding it hard to just see white save armies regardless of what your gimmicky keywords are, like thrive on this. Like it's weird. Like I don't know, dude. Like it's I
Yeah.
haven't played yet. But I mean, from what it sounded like with Nick's and Edwards' game is like Edwards shot everything off the board, and we all know Edwards playing like mortars and death troopers and shore troopers. And it's like that's not even like the firepower we see out of like EXD, GAR, like that. Man, like I don't know, dude. Like the more and more I hear about the cover system, the more and more I hate it. The cover system.
Well, see, that's the
I'm
thing.
just
You can't knock it until you played it. And I know you haven't played yet, but like I do agree with you because like I hate extra steps. Rolling cover now is just an extra step. I feel like everything was perfect with the changes for the cover, except that. Like if we got rid of that, you take two off the top for heavy cover, but you have to be a half, you know, 3 inches from the terrain in order to benefit to get cover from that thing. I think that was a great move. I
No,
love
no,
that rule.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think that rolling cover thing is kind of like a fail safe because could you imagine running, that two off the top into a big stormtrooper blob or a giant
Well, that's the
red
whole
save
point,
blob?
right?
No,
That's
no, no, but I'm saying like I think that's why they made you roll for it because you got, let's say, I don't know the numbers, let's say 11 to 12 on a one unit of storms or clones. You're
mm,
taking two off the top automatically, and they're rolling into red saves. And you got defensive tech with clones, and now with Empire with Exemplar. So it's like I get it why they made the cover swingy to try to make it not as defensible for those big blobs, but I don't know, dude. It just seems like I said they swung from cagey I'm gonna outsmart you gameplay to, well, I'm gonna just shoot all these dice and hope you live. If you don't live, I guess I'll just get outscore you by turn four.
well, I mean, like they said in their stream when they were telling us about it, is they wanted to make lower acts feel more impactful. Because like once you come down to one or two guys in a unit and you're shooting at heavy cover, you're just fishing for crits, and it's a feel bad, and you got to be objectives. So I get why they did it. It's very
You shouldn't be
swingy.
shooting with that one guy. You should be hiding
But what if
so you
what if
don't go down in axe
what
and
if
then
you're
grab a back objective.
what if you're playing intercept? Now that guy's got to go towards you in an intercept match, and that's the first guy gonna die,
You
right?
run with the back intercept.
Back to he is now the legal objector for that one.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, what I'm hoping is, I'm hoping with the new card system, the secondary objective and your advantages. I'm hoping that they bring more flavor in that.
uh,
Because I think that would be cool. That would be like, more of like because I didn't mind the setting your army up for what you're good at. I didn't mind that at all.
yeah,
But with now us having secondary ways to score and advantages, I feel like that gives you leeway to actually make that a little bit more flexible. As a droid player, what if I could bring like a card that says, I don't know, like I can't get ioned on scoring turns. You know what I mean? But now you have agency as a droid player to bring that, and you as an opponent have agency to flip that away. And you could bring cool stuff like that.
yeah. Like the more they come out with advantage cards and stuff like that, like yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
think they have room for that, and I think that'd be fun. And that's why I'm like all for it. Like I understand nobody really likes the cover system. It to me, I just hate the extra step. But I mean, I played a game against Dallin and I rolled my covers and I got blocks. It felt really good. It's like, oh, I got some blocks. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really feel like I need to play as much as possible to finally come to a conclusion on how I feel about the game. But out of the three games that I played so far, I had a lot of fun playing. And I think that's partially because I'm learning a new system, I'm learning new strategies, I'm playing with new units. I never thought I'd play with Geonosians, and now I'm just like, oh, Geonosians got that free jump. That's huge right now.
Yeah.
So I
Are you
and
gonna Good?
but no, I was just gonna say was that I feel like units that can't do some kind of deploy movement to get their two actions is a feel bad unit right now because of how the game is
Bro,
Alpha Strike. And I
I
feel
hate
like
it.
prepared positions is a trap, in my
Like, have
opinion.
you seen like the Legion Discord? Like everybody's like, I'm making a list. Let me cram as much recon as I can, and we'll
Mhm.
start there. Like, really, dude? Like, that's what I. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like you had your gimmick stuff in
Mhm.
old. Me and Nick said it, Legacy Legion. You had old gimmick stuff in Legacy Legion, and now the way the thing is set up, now it's like whoever brings the most recon intel or scout X, is already at a considerable advantage. And I hate it. It's like it's one of those things like I said, like you leave a way for competitive players to wiggle and break it, and they'll sacrifice. You gave me an extra 200 points. Guess what? Everybody got to recon intel because I can afford it.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. That's every game. Every game, someone's gonna try to figure out how to
Ugh.
break it, right? And like, there's no winning for anybody. On a fun level, everyone's having fun. In a
If we stayed
competitive
at
level,
800 points, taking those recon
no,
intels
no,
matters a little
no,
more.
no. Like,
Then nobody has that advantage except for the units that have it built in.
I love and yeah, and like it's funny because like it feels like clones even got more broken. You know,
How?
well, we're not going to cover them today, but we'll cover them in another later episode. But because they got, like you said, they got built-in scouts on some of them. They have, they could take recon intel, and
They lost double exemplar.
I just think they're too cheap. In my opinion, I think they're too cheap. Yep, that's my hot take.
Have you seen the clone lists that are still at 10x, 9,
Hot
10x?
hot take. They are too cheap, in my opinion, for what they could do. Yeah, they're way too cheap. I mean, look at all the huge buffs Anakin got. Like that's huge, and he went down in points. Um, so I feel like the balancing of Gar, you got to slap a nice price tag on them to make him feel like, okay, these guys hit hard, but there's not a whole lot of them on the field.
Dude, the ARF troopers are going to be expensive. They come with built-in Jedi.
And that's also my other hot take is I think that's why they increased force push to 40 points. Because I bet you with ARC troopers with the Jedi upgrade, you could take one force power, and I bet you they were afraid that everybody was going to take a bunch of those and put force push on them because this now game is played for the objectives, like hovering over it with somebody, right? Like to contest it.
Mhm.
Imagine having, assuming our troopers are special forces, so you have three Jedi
They're going to be
upgrades.
core.
Are you sure they're going to be core? Okay,
It's the
so
third core option.
that's
At least
six.
that's what I remember hearing. It was going to be a third core option.
Well, then we'll assume they're core, right? That's six core with a Jedi upgrade, and let's say you could take Anakin and Obi-Wan, so that's eight Jedi's with Force push.
That's 180 points. Am my math right?
Well,
160, 40
assuming
apiece, right? It's 40
Well,
points now.
assuming they cost at 10. That's why I think they raised the price to 40, is because of these new Jedi upgrades that are coming out.
Yeah, but there's no way because eight force pushes at 40 points apiece, like that's
Well,
not even
yes, I agree. That's why I think that's why they raised the price on it because that's what they were scared of.
okay.
If they kept it low, everybody was going to do that, take force push, and just win the game instantly, right? Um, that's my theory on why force push is so high, but I still think you take it. I
Oh,
still,
I automatically take it on. So let me rephrase that. You don't take it on everything. You take it on everything you were taking it on before.
yeah,
I don't see a Jedi that doesn't take it because even with the double withdrawal, which is stupid, even with the double withdrawal, like there's still benefit to bubble wrap. There's still
yeah,
benefit to a
oh
last
yeah.
second push. Like
Yeah,
there's like
it's huge. It's huge because of contesting an objective. Like it matters a lot. And that's also my other theory why they took out force lift is because you could put a barricade on the tip of the half range, rule to an objective, and so they would stop your opponent from scoring it, right? So you can also spam force lifts if you wanted to. Um, but I think they instead of raising the price for that, they just took it out of the game.
the only person using it was Nick.
I guarantee you a lot more people would use it now if it was in the game, 100%.
Maybe.
But yeah, like 3 games. I played uh, a list with Grievous and B2s and Poggle the Lesser all on the list, and that was really fun. Then I played a bunch of Geonosians, and that was fun. And then I played a bunch of I did like a bunch of B1s and Dooku and Asajj with no force push. and it made me miss force push so much.
That's hilarious.
But
Well,
I
two force users, that's a lot of investment in force push. You should at least
yeah,
just took one.
I was
And it should have been on Dooku.
well, I wanted to play it to see how it would be without it. And it worked really good, but it was very hard to dive without that security blanket of force push. So I definitely think you still pay the points for it. But yeah.
So with the extra 200 points, what I did was I stuck two extra blobs into my B2s. And then and then I took the snipers off of my BXs and put the saboteur on there.
Oh shit.
So it's a melee weapon now, like and it's like the and then the swords. So you're a charging like melee machine.
Yeah.
And it still gives me agency to keep Force Barrier on Dooku because I got to keep the B1s from getting eaten. And the BX has got Scout 3.
I don't even think you need to barrier B1s because
No, BXs, not B1s.
oh BXs. Yeah, BXs. Yeah, Scout 3, and then you get the two move actions. Like
In the
that's
charge with the sword
yeah.
with the bomb.
Hmm.
I
That's not a
but I
bad
do
idea.
I am interested in doing six snipers.
Yeah.
Only because
You can't do six snipers.
yeah, you can. You could
Oh
do
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
your three base sniper squads, whatever faction you're in, and
Hmm.
then the three strike teams are intat detachments.
You just gave me a really good idea.
Because dude, sniper pools are so anything with a small pool is now so much more deadlier.
Sure.
And now you're getting six snipers. And then here's the thing, you 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 know the whole those strike teams are going to be bait now because the whole move mechanic. Cool. Well, I'm just going to put the shields on my BX strike teams, and there we go.
Yep.
And AI's busted now. We'll get into that, but AI's fucking toast.
I don't
So
know if it's Toad. I think
it's
I
range
have.
three,
Well,
range
here,
three. Ugh,
but they split it up, right? They split up the objective. So if you don't have two commanders, that's a big deal.
that's why you bring Kalani or a regular STD.
Well, I was just thinking right now with the BXs, what if you did Dooku with Kraken and then BXs with the sword and the saboteur?
That'd be dope.
That would be dope. That'd be
But if
dope.
you roll one swingy dice roll and
Well, then you take if you can fit it, you take spiders with the flamethrower.
yeah,
I don't know.
I
I'm
could,
gonna work.
I could.
You got my brain working now. I'm just like, ooh, this might be
No,
good.
I just this is I just thought like I said I wasn't gonna buy any tokens to run this nonsense,
Uh-huh.
but I'm pretty sure I have the old legacy cardboard tokens around here, so I could at least use the cardboard tokens to see if six snipers is something I would want.
Yeah.
You know, that'd
I
be
don't.
that'd be that'd be pretty fun. Or like I said, even then you could get the three full charging BX units with the sniper detachments in the back. Like that's crazy. Like that's I think that's super good. What do you think? I was thinking about this the other day. Every unit now has a marksman. It's basically like M-BAM rifle light. I
Not
honestly think that they
every.
put that there just because of the new backup rule. Because it's a
Sure,
wound, auto wound.
sure, but only two factions are getting it right now, and they haven't even came out yet. That's Rebels and Empire. So I don't know how much stock that's gonna be. I don't think it's a bad idea, but it's like the same idea with the ambient rifle for Mando. The moment you do it and you miss, you regret it and never do it again.
Yeah, but if you're like have a unit that's like being saved because of backup, you can take that shot.
Sure,
Backup can't stop it. I don't
sure,
know. It's a little too expensive, even at the point cost it is.
yeah,
But I don't know, man. We'll see. Like I said, I'm most likely my first game is gonna be in like 2 weeks, just because how my scheduling rolls out. But I am list building. Are you gonna go to so while before we get onto our main topic, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Scott at Roll Better Dice. He is throwing a LVOIS Invitational. It's going to be on, let me pull it up. It's gonna be on, oh, what are we? Oh, that's this Saturday.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make it. August 10th, he's doing an LVLIS Invitational. So if you guys can make it out there, it's going to be in Mauna Kea Drive, Modesto, California. I was gonna say I'd probably go out there and get some games in, but I read that date wrong. I was like, I thought it was October. I read it as 10/8. 8, 10, 24. You can go check out Roll Better Dice's LVLIS tournament. I will not be going because I thought it was in October.
Yeah,
My bad,
I,
Scott.
I would love to go. I know
I
he
wanted to
kind
get
of,
games in.
yeah, I know he kind of did it last minute, but I've been itching to go to a tournament to play just to relearn everything. But you know, life, man, families and stuff like that. Like it's hard to make time for everything.
Go to the game night on the 17th. Plan it out.
It's up, man. It's yeah, it's doable. It's definitely doable.
Well, I'm planning on like I'm usually there when the shop opens at 11.
Yeah.
So my idea is just to show up and all comers. I'm gonna play whoever shows up.
Mm.
I'm planning to get at least 2 to 3 games in, two at minimum,
Yeah.
just to have my better opinion on the situation. No, then my hot takes will either be steaming hot or ice cold.
Right. So yeah, you definitely need to get games in so you can give us your more opinion. I definitely need to put more under my belt so I can give a more conclusive um, results of what I think of everything. But yeah, so I
You know,
figured,
I
but
could do games on a TTS if I wasn't being worked to death painting somebody's miniatures.
well, if you finish them faster, we could start playing on TTS. Because I'd be down for a TTS game. I'm usually down for a TTS game. So,
It's
but
just by the time I get around to painting stuff, it's like 10, 11 at night, and I only got like 2 or 3 hours. So it's like, yeah, I could play TTS, but I got to get these things done. So
that's what I learned. I learned that you're more of a at night painter. So you like when you're up late at night, you'll paint your stuff, which I'm excited for. And
I'll
like,
paint your stuff. It's not my stuff.
you're like, I'm not painting my stuff, not at all. Yeah, but I need more now. I'm even thinking about getting more Geonosians and Ewoks. I'm just like, why'd you have to do this to me, AMG? Why'd you got to do this to me? So
I'm
I think,
holding off buying stuff until I play the game.
oh,
I think the only thing I have right now I have to go pick up is my Bad Batch pre-order, and I don't even think I'm gonna be playing Gar anytime soon because I'm locked in on playing CIS and probably taking CIS to LVO.
why did you decide to go with CIS this time?
So that's the thing that sucks, dude. Like, I've always loved Dooku. So I played CIS when CIS first was released.
Mm,
Our first big hitter, out the gate was Dooku, and I played ton of Dooku. And then I kind of just got bored with CIS as a faction and started faction hopping. That's when I bought in everything else. And then I got stuck on Gar and I played Anakin for like, man, when Anakin dropped, all I did was play Anakin. And I must have played Gar like for 2 years straight. And I mean, I took him back to LVO, the same exact list actually.
mm, yeah.
And I was just like, man, Anakin's my favorite. That's why I'm playing Gar. But then, we had that old podcast episode that kept really in the back of my head where Daniel's like, if Dooku's so good, take Dooku. And I'm like, all right, I'll take Dooku. And so then we got into Rob's league game where I swapped to classic Dooku CIS.
Mm.
And bro, I don't know what it was, but playing Dooku and classic CIS, like made the game hella fun again. I was like, yo, okay, this is what I've been missing. And then it pumped me up because when we did Vet Fest,
Mhm.
everybody, I forget, not a lot of people have seen my Terminator B1s.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody sees my Shadow clones and they're like, oh, that's awesome. They've seen my Fruity Rebels, the Rainbow Rebel Troopers, they've seen all my other stuff, but they've never seen, like, very few eyes have seen the chrome that is my T800 B1s. And so when we were at Vet Fest, everybody was like stopping and they're asking two questions. First question is this EXD? No, get out of here. Second question was, how'd you get that chrome like that? And I'm like, yo, this is dope. Like, and then, bro, I went 2-2 at Vet Fest. Could have been 3-1 just because I had a brain meltdown
Mhm.
in my first game. But bro, like Dooku's so like the Dooku made the game fun for me again. Like when I played, my second game was against Echo Base Defenders.
Yeah.
Bro, rushed those tauntauns up there. I'm like, cool. Let me grab this tauntaun, sling him behind this building. Let me wreck him with Dooku. Let me wreck him with these BXs. Oh, that's another tauntaun coming from the other side. Cool. Let me send the BXs that way. Let me force barrier over here. Like it just Dooku like made the game fun again. And right when I was like enjoying the game again, like I'm pumped to play Legion. Let's play Legion. AMG ruined it.
I don't know if they ruined it. You haven't even played yet.
I'm
Yeah.
not I just
Just play. Just
I just got on
make a
the roller
list.
coaster of being a non-aggressive, very tactical player to them to be like just hit the W key and throw dice. Like I'd
But that's what everybody wanted. That's what you wanted. I bet you if you went back on our podcast, you would be arguing that you wish you could just focus on killing. In fact, I remember we talking
I did,
about,
and I told
yeah,
you that's why I lost a lot of my games.
no,
I
that's what I'm
re
saying. I'm saying you wanted to kill stuff. You just wanted to focus on killing stuff. That's what the game is now.
but I realized how much tactics tactically how I'm having a brain fart here. I just realized like doing that's fun, but like the tactics is what wins you the game, and that's why I was losing a lot in the beginning. Because everybody was telling me like it's not a kill points game, it's subjective game. And once I finally dialed that in, that's when I turned it around at LVO. Um, Stopped trying to missile everything with Anakin and turned him into a exemplaring dodged cannon.
Mhm.
And then playing with Dooku and being able to be like, okay, I have enough force powers and enough tricks in my cards to dictate how this engagement is gonna go. And let me be patient. Like when I played Daniel, he had Lando, he had both Mandos, and it's like, cool, let me stall Mando over here and let me pace myself so I can start controlling the middle point. If I can stall just enough, I can then manipulate the middle of the board with Dooku and win, which is
Mhm.
exactly how that game played out. I started understanding these concepts, and that also, like I said, opened a bright new light, like for me, like even so much as putting my B1s in a position where let me march these B1s here. Yes, they'll be out of range, but if my AI does trigger, I'm already in scoring position. I've already set myself up where the AI is not going to matter. Like playing that tactical game like was super fun, and now it's like it's just it's a dice game. Like it's dicier than it was before. It
Sure.
feels like.
It definitely is more dicier because of the cover changes, right? But it's just a new way to play Legion. And I think it's something we all wanted. I think we just want to criticize it a lot more critique than instead of just soaking it up and just enjoying it. Because like what I'm doing right now is like you just gave me a list that I've been work that I want to work on now. Is just BXs with
You're
charge, right?
stealing my idea and making it better because you're piloting
Yeah. Well, it's just because
it.
like I'm actually having fun building lists again, and I'm actually having fun just throwing it out there, see what it does, see if it's really good, or see if have fun, and it's not like chasing the meta, you know. And I think we're back in the Wild West. Like, what's going to be good? What's not going to be good? What are people doing? So. It's
That's good.
exciting. I'm excited. Um, but let's get to
Yeah,
our
to
main topic.
yes,
So,
sir.
last week you guys went over Rebels, because there's been a lot of changes, and this week we're going to go over the Separatists. Figured it's a good idea. I'm a main Separatist player, and Jose's getting back into Separatists, seeing the true light finally.
Still not putting them all on the board. Fuck them all.
So let's go over those things. We're going to start off with the T series. So the T series went up 5 points, got Surge to defend, it got Exemplar, and lost Sharpshooter 1. Its blaster rifle got two blacks instead of the red and white. And then I think that is it for all the changes, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is a good change. It sucks that he went up 5 points. I think it's because of that exemplar and the surge to defend. But other than that, I think this is great. This guy could just stack tokens on himself. Which is it's also kind of weird too, because like even though they gave a lot of the other factions exemplar and not Gar, a lot of these commanders, especially in the separatists, want to be giving out tokens to other separatist units and not itself.
I was
So
thinking that, like looking at like Leia, Veers, and all them, I'm like, oh, cool, they got Exemplar, and I'm just like, when would you really use that?
right, right. And I think their idea is that like if they have a token, you can use it because you're not going to be using it a lot. Because like especially for Leia, you're going to want to take cover and then maybe take a dodge for yourself. So now all your units can use that dodge. I know for the T series, you're gonna want to bolster some B1s or whatever units, and then maybe take a dodge for yourself. And like now my B1s can use the dodge, right? Or aim. Aim's not that bad of idea either. Moving on, we got the super tac droids. The first one is we got the generic one. This one went down 25 points, which is huge. It surges. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong T series. Super tac droid. It went down. So it was originally at 90 points, now it's at 75 points. It surges to crit, which the old one surged to hit. It has still has strategized direct AI, but it gained exemplar. It's got the blaster rifle now. It rolls two reds and a black instead of the red and the white, and it has lethal one. So,
So I like that profile because of the going back to the T series real quick. Yeah, they upped his attack to what was it? It was they upped it to two red, but instead of the red and the white on the regular T series. But it's like, what is that really doing? Like at least with the sharpshooter, you were kind of getting over cover.
mhm.
Like with, I don't see why they would do that and not like take the sharpshooter away and then give him two black. But like with the super tactical, psh, I like how they gave it the two to one, two red, one to one black with the sharpshooter. That does feel good. A
Yeah.
good pool sharpshooter, especially with the new cover changes and then like smaller dice pools being way more better now or way better now.
Well, especially because what I do like on this tech droid is you can strategize yourself, I believe, because I think you're a friendly unit to yourself. I believe they stated that in the rules.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
I'm looking at
Yeah,
it.
because then what you could do is you could strategize yourself and then take it.
Yeah, choose a friendly unit, not other friendly.
So then you get an aim and a dodge, and then you can shoot. And now you search the crit, and then you have lethal one. So pretty nice. Which is also interesting is that they also took a lot of Pierce away from the commanders in the game, aside from the super tech droids. They either gained it by lethal, not straight up just Pierce, but just lethal one, which is kind of nice.
Of course, you need to use that exemplar.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on, we got Kalani. So Kalani was at 100 points in the old Legion. Now it is 85 points.
Ooh,
Yeah. It's
Kalani double AAT.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
I did that before. I love that list.
it's really good. It looks like same thing, just got exemplar. It did lose sharpshooter 2. It now has sharpshooter 1, which is probably because of the new cover changes. Um, its combat training is now combat expertise, which is now 2 blacks instead of the black and white. Its blaster rifle now got 3 blacks instead of the black and white. And it still has the lethal 1, so that's a good change, I think.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with it there.
I've always been out of all the super attacks, I got my favorite's always been Kalani, just because the whole strategize two shenanigans you could pull,
Yeah, he's
and then
definitely
just
more
taking
useful.
Kalani with was it the comms relay
Yeah, yeah, because he gets to strategize 2, you can hit 2 units, and then you can direct AI, so you can start the daisy chain.
relay
Um,
or order out.
I don't like the reinforcement change. I think reinforcement's dumb now.
So
Like,
what cha hold on, what changed at start of the end phase of the first round of the game? Unit with reinforced free speed one. Oh, so you're not landing on the board last, you're just getting a free speed.
yeah, so it's like, and it's only for the first turn, right?
At the end of the phase of the first round of the game. That's crazy. Why?
Yeah, why would I move forward? Like, it's just, I think I don't know what they were thinking with reinforcements. I feel like they did a bad job with that
I
reinforcement
mean,
thing.
it could work on BX murder balls. It's
How?
speed scout three and then reinforce and then that extra speed.
Sure, but like, I don't know. It's very situational. Let's put it that way.
I loved
But
holding my
Kalani,
stuff back and putting them last. Like that was the big advantage of
yeah,
reinforcement.
it really was. And like Kalani is not that much of a good fighter as compared to the other super attacks. It doesn't want to be moving closer to everything. It kind of wants to be in the background, right? Um, so I just wish they would fix that. And we should also go over AI. So I know we probably touched on it back when we were covering keywords, but let's refresh everybody's memory.
Hmm.
AI now, what it does is, I loved how you
Stupid.
complained about it, and now they just made it non-existent.
No, no, that's what my whole thing was. AI in the beginning. If you were good at building your droid lists, you literally made it to where AI was not a thing. Like
Yeah,
not a thing.
yeah,
Unless you wanted it to be.
right.
And then you had to circumvent it. Now literally it's almost not like AMG take a page from Nick. AMG heard my safe word and kept going. Like,
Not let
literally like
up.
when are you ever gonna trigger AI when you like ever? Like I get it. But you have such cheap, and this is me playing CIS, you have such cheap commanders that it's like almost impossible to trip your AI without like something melting down or going terribly wrong. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, did you explain what the new AI is now?
So AI basically is as no longer the days of, oh, I need to get this thing an order token or I'm gonna hit proc AI. What AI does now is as long as the AI unit is range 3 of their A commander, AI just doesn't proc at all. Order token or not order token. I mean, it almost makes besides order control, it almost makes the daisy chain thing not a thing anymore either. Like, you'll always want the daisy chain to keep
Mhm.
your bag where it's at.
Yep.
But before it was like, let me get this perfect daisy chain. So not only is my bag where I need it to be, but I don't suffer from AI at all in a way I don't want to. Now it's here's my daisy chain, but if I gotta pull a token, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. And uh, what's even crazier is like, okay, if you kept everything in the rage 3 bubble, none of your AI ever went off. Um, Override change. There is no override 2, override 1, or none of that. It's just override. And what override does now is if you are in range 5 of a commander, you can give the commander a suppression and then you ignore the AI on that unit. So it just extended the bubble even bigger, which is crazy. And I like it. I'm here. I'm here for it.
I'm playing CIS now, so I won't complain until I jump ship again.
So yeah, let's go over the last super tech droid.
Kraken.
Kraken used to be 100 points. It is now 100 points or 80 points. I'm sorry. It has all the keywords that it usually had. Except for sharpshooter, it's now sharpshooter one instead of sharpshooter two. It gained exemplar. Its overwhelm still the same, but its blaster rifle is now three reds instead of two blacks and pierce one. It's three reds and lethal one.
It's
Uh,
good.
yeah, yeah. It's funny because Kalani is now the most expensive super tech droid. Out of all three, which was your favorite? Like with these stats,
Kalani.
Kalani. Yeah, it's
I've
hard not
always
to.
been I've never been a bum rush melee guy, so Kraken was never my flavor, like even when he was like the old school Kraken.
Mm,
And there was no point in taking the regular tactical droid. So Kalani was like my go-to, especially the way I ran. Like what I'd like to do with Kalani was like let me go with two. I ran that list against you when we played. I almost won too. It was a double
I
AT
like how
fully
you just throw
loaded.
that in there.
I almost beat you.
Oh,
No, but it was a fun list. Because we had a Kate because I think you had a super tac droid too, because we
mm,
both played the disengaged card at the same time. But it was two AATs fully loaded with B1s and rocket spam with Kalani and then BXs. And so the whole game I'm just overriding my tanks and then starting the daisy chain with Kalani. It was direct AI, and then dropping the order back to Kalani, and then using a comms relay to bounce it out to one of the B1s that I need or BXs that I needed in the back. So where the only thing in my bag was the other BX unit.
mm,
So it was a pretty nasty list that I liked a lot. Just, cramming the tanks. Tanks with an aim are always good. And
yeah.
those tanks, those tanks are always, four red dice, eight red dice, whatever. Solid. So I've always been a Kalani person. Um, and I think I'll continue to be. How my Dooku list, I threw Kalani in there. It wasn't even a thought. Just let me throw Kalani in there. I got 200 points.
Kalani's
Kalani.
going
That's
in
right
there.
here. Couldn't afford you now. Then I can afford you now.
My favorite is definitely Kraken.
Of course.
I
Of
like his
course.
melee profile, and if you slap tenacity down there, it goes to five reds, lethal one. So it's like a mini
Anakin
Jedi.
lightsaber.
Yeah, like literally, it's just it, and he's got charge on top of that. I didn't play him a whole lot. I'm hoping to play him more now, because it is hard to beat Kalani Strategize too. It's just too good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like I also like the regular Super Tech Droid, the generic one for 75 points. You get everything that Kalani and Kraken has.
Just
Um,
weaker.
yeah, well, I mean, not even weaker. I mean, I wouldn't say by much because you get override, which is huge. You got sharpshooter one, you get the direct AI units, and you got strategize one. And your weapon profile is not the greatest, but like I feel like for the price, you could take it pretty consistently.
I
To
think if you needed to downgrade for points wise, yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping this year to get more Kraken play. I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, moving on. We got Paga the Lesser. He went down 5 points. I don't think anything has changed on him, other than override, which there's no more numbers. It's just override. Other than that, I think he has pretty much the same setup on his card. It's just
I mean, did he always have Entourage B2?
yeah, he always had that. He just went down in points. That's it.
B2 spam might be good with the override now.
Well, that's the game I did against Dallin. I took Grievous because Grievous has that Ruthless card, so good on B2s. And then Pongo the Lesser has that 4 pip where you can restore a mini, not a wound, a mini. So you just bring a B2 back full health. So and then I had six B2s with the B2 Haw.
How was the red dice no armor?
Honestly, it was pretty good. It was pretty
I mean,
good.
we'll get there. I don't mean to spoil it, but I wasn't a fan. Like I always thought armor one on white dice was like not great until I
Mm.
started using it and watching people like I can't kill anything like, and then they switched to the red with no armor and I got mad.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me
Uh,
armor one and red dice. How about that?
like if we're not talking statistic,
Yeah, how
I
did it feel? Rob's not here. He's lost somewhere in the middle of the country. Rob doesn't exist right now. Statistics out the
uh,
window. How did it feel?
I felt really good against Dallin because I was actually making my saves.
Did it
So
feel better than armor one white though?
yes, a ton better
Okay.
because it was nice getting those three blocks right, the armor one and then heavy cover, but then they would just die, right? And it always felt bad because I always wanted P2s to actually feel strong. And now that they got red saves, it felt amazing. It took down
Okay.
hard to chew through them all. But honestly, in that game, I was rolling pretty hot. So uh,
Okay. Sweet.
it was hard to like statistically, you know, factor that in.
Oh no, this is dope, dude. Sweet. That's why I was like, I need to ask you because I know you play B2s. I don't
Mm,
know anybody else who runs B2s.
yeah, yeah. Moving on to Dooku. Dooku used to be 185. He is now
Ooh.
165. So he went down 20 points. He got, which I think is huge, direct trooper unit. That's awesome. You can start the daisy chain off him. That's what I did against my game against John. That's why I took
Wait,
Dooku.
hold on.
Go for it.
Um, so that's so that works even in the CIS because it's direct trooper, not direct AI.
Right. So you could give it to a B1 and it'll start
It's
the
not
daisy chain.
different though.
No, because technically a B1 is a trooper unit.
It's a droid trooper. That's
Yeah,
why I was wondering if that changed, if that
yeah,
was the
it's
thing.
it's still
Because
a trooper
why not make it direct droid trooper? Or
because you could give it to Geonosians.
oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like you could give it to well, Geonosians, I guess, is the only non-droid trooper unit in Separatists right now. So and you can give it to Sunfact, you can give it to Poggle the Lesser, you can give it to Asajj, you can give it to Maul. Like that's pretty
That's why
neat.
it sounds really strong. I'm trying to
It
understand if that's
is
like
really strong. That's why I love it. I think it's
that's what I'm
amazing.
saying. It sounds like it. That's not the right way.
You could give it to
Because,
Grievous. Like it's so good.
but
Like
see, that's what I'm trying to separate. Like, if you're gonna direct Poggle or direct any other thing that's a trooper, like not because think about it, we have Wookiee troopers, droid troopers, clone troopers, like they're all specific to what they are.
mhm.
For instance, like old school words, clone troopers could only token share with clone troopers. Like, so to me, it's like that feels if you played it that way, that that is the way it is meant to be, that is seriously strong. But I feel like that's directly made to hand off an order to like another flesh unit, not necessarily a droid trooper, because at that point, like I don't know, it just seems weird. Like I would
You
have
have to
to.
think of it like Veers and um Cody, where they have well, I guess Veers has guidance vehicle, and now Yoda has guidance trooper. Um, Cody has direct vehicle, right? So you're not looking for the whole entire word, you're just looking for a part of the word. And because like even Dooku could give this to the Black Suns. He could give it to the Pikes. And like I feel like you could do a list with Dooku and Maul, and Maul always getting an order from him, which is huge. I don't really think
Yeah,
you want to do it with Asajj though, because Asajj benefits more with the Dodge from Independent. Ooh, I'm gonna make a Dooku, Asajj, and Maul list. There we go. I'm gonna spend 40 points just to have all of them have three force pushes.
you're ridiculous.
He also
Actually,
another big deal is he got Surge to defend. Love that change. I think that's an amazing change.
all the Force users got that.
No, no, you're talking about deflect. He got Surge to defend. So
Oh, so even
yeah,
in melee.
even in melee, he got Surge to defend, which is I love that change. His Force Lightning change, he's got six blacks instead of five. And now the Force Lightning has suppressive, which I love that. I think that's pretty good. I think that's it on him. So yeah, yeah, that was really happy with the Dooku changes.
I get back into Dooku and they just buff my boy right up.
Which we were
He didn't
arguing
need.
about. He
He didn't
did.
need. He
He
didn't
did
need it.
need. He
He didn't
absolutely
need
did
it.
need. You
He
play
did
old
not.
Dooku then, and I'll play the new one. We'll see who wins. um, Grievous went down 20 points. He's now 130.
Grievous
Um,
might be MVP,
oh
low key MVP, dude. I like the new Grievous.
yeah, I love the new Grievous too. He gained a gear slot, which might come in useful. I mean, putting Scout 1 on him now, since everyone's slapping recon intel on him, might be a really big deal. He gained Entourage Magna Guard.
Thank
Finally,
God,
yeah,
finally.
finally, should have always had that. They put his gun, his Annihilator, onto his card now, which kind of sucks because you can no longer attack with the one lightsaber in the shootout because he lost Arsenal too. Um, his trophy lightsabers is still the same, but he gained critical one, which is huge. I wouldn't say huge. I mean, it's pretty good, critical one. He did lose impervious, but that's okay because he gained immune to pierce. And I think this is the biggest change for him. And I think this is a good change. Like Grievous would previously just die to any kind of pierce.
I hate it. Personally, I hate Impervious.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hate Impervious so much. It's like
He also got Courage 3. Oh wait, that's just
no,
in
he is
green.
two still.
I know. I wanted 3.
You wish.
I wish he had 3. No, but yeah, I think it's a good change. You can now use his Annihilator and melee, like with attacking something. That also changed.
But why
Um,
would you want to do that like over your lightsaber?
to be honest, I don't know.
Like they should have just left Arsenal on the
I,
card.
I don't know why you would want to do that. Maybe the flex. So like, I'm gonna shoot my pistol instead of using my
Here's my
lightsaber.
two white, two black.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
that's dumb.
I feel like it was just a universal change.
He
So
doesn't
all
have
new.
Arsenal on any of his new cards.
No, no. Which we'll get to the command cards later.
That's so
They
dumb.
also changed. Like I had mentioned before, he has a 2 pip now gives ruthless, which is amazing for B2s.
That's Gideon's keyword, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's so good. Moving on, we are going to moving to the cores now. Okay.
You're not gonna do operatives or operatives?
Well, I'm just going in order from the AMG
Oh, okay.
bottom.
I'm using tabletop admiral. All right, core
Yeah.
it is.
So now we got B2s, or sorry, B1s. Um, they have I don't think anything changed. They just
They got
oh,
the extra trooper upgrade to be able to slot in.
oh yeah, I was gonna go over the upgrades later that changed, but as far as the unit card goes alone, like nothing changed. Uh
I
the
think so.
no, the only thing
Because
that
on
changed,
so on tabletop admiral, everything that changed has a blue highlight on it,
yeah, but
and
which
B1s have a blue highlight
on what?
on their card. Like it says. So for instance, like I'm looking at core.
Mhm.
B1s are lit up in blue. B2s are lit up in blue. Black Sun are not lit up. Geonosians are lit up in blue, and Pike Syndicate are not, which makes sense because Black Sun and Pikes didn't get any changes, but we know B2s did. The red defense dice. We know Geonosians did.
The
So
only
something about the B1s changed. Had to have.
No, nothing changed on them. The only thing that changed on them was the art. And I gotta say, all the art that they came out with looks amazing. But that's the only change on the unit card itself is the art. Everything else and the
Hmm.
format of the card it obviously has changed, but everything else is the same. Maybe the keywords, that's why it's highlighted because the keywords are technically reworked now.
No,
Um,
probably.
yeah, but other than that, everything is the same on the B ones. But going over B2s now, B2s changed tremendously. They
They're
have,
awesome.
yeah, they're so much,
They're so
so
awesome.
much better. They have red defense die, which is awesome. They got wrist rockets, which is a range one weapon where they shoot one red per unit, and it's an impact one. And then their arm cannons now shoot two blacks instead of the black and the white. And the arm cannons serve as their melee profile as well. So it's just like a double whammy if you're going to base melee with them. The
Love it.
downfall is they used to be 45 points. They are now 64 points. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the most expensive core option in the game or corpse option in the game.
For right now.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident saying that they're the most expensive. Rightfully so. But I wish,
A lot of upside, so I think it's justified.
yeah, I kind of wish they were cheaper to get everything, but whatever. So moving on, we're going to go to BXs. So BXs, couple changes here. Um, they are actually the same points. Nothing changed on there. Uh, I'm looking up their upgrade stuff. That's all the same.
It's the probably the detachment is what changed. The detachments are now free.
Yeah, because instead of 80 dodge, they have impervious skill, Scout 3, which is awesome. Sharpshooter 1, yep. Yep.
Did they change scale at all, or is it still
It's
stupid?
still stupid. It's still dumb.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking. Way to go, AMG.
Yeah, you'd be right. The only thing that's changed for the BXs is their art. Aside from the BX Commando one, that one's still the same art, but the Strike Team one's a different art. But yeah, they are the same. There's nothing different about them, even on the Strike Teams, except for the detachment for keyword. We got the Magna Guards, the prototype. Let me pull that up and see what's actually changed on them.
Oh, that's the
That's
EX
yeah,
cheese version, right?
yeah, the EXD one. Yep. This
No,
one, so
EX cheese.
well, not anymore because they changed the EXD.
It
You
might
can't.
still be good.
It's good, but it's not as good because you can't take three BXs anymore. But what's nice is I don't know if you ever want to use these guys. So these guys actually went down by 4 points. And I don't see anything changed on them. Yeah, nothing has changed on them. But if you guys notice anything that we missed, please let us know because I'm looking and I don't see any changes on those boys. Just a price drop for them. And then I'm gonna skip a little bit and go to the Persuader class prototype. It used to be what's it say here? 145. It is now 130. Armor got reworked. There's no more armor keyword. It is now armor with a number next to it, and that's how many dice you block. Vehicles also got a nerf in that they don't gain cover from anything. So if you shoot at them, you never have to roll cover for them.
Transport got nerfed.
Transport got nerfed big time, but the prototype doesn't have that. It has armor 5 now. It's got two. I think it's called the armament. The missile icon. So now you get two missiles if you wanted to upgrade on this one. It's got
I'd love that so much on all the heavy tanks to have two shells now
yeah,
automatically.
yeah, that's super nice. They changed command note instead of it saying, during the command phase you can issue an order at range one. It's now got direct core trooper. So that's what's changed. Its weapons profile is the same, looks like. It does okay, it's heavy blaster. Now it has critical one. Um, and then its proton ion cannon has impact with the ion keyword. But other than that, that's pretty much it for that. Moving on to, oops, that's not what I want to do.
Do you really think the armor thing's a nerf?
No, I don't.
Because like, how often were you? Because armor five, realistically, even if it's out, even if they don't get cover, you got to get 5 hits before you can do
Yeah,
anything.
I honestly think
I wasn't getting 5 hits beforehand.
I I like this change a lot. I feel like this is how armor always should have been because, especially with the ATRTs, right? It was so frustrating that they got full armor and the spiders got armor 3. It was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But now it feels like you're not screwed if you didn't take any impact when someone skewed an armor list, right? So I do like the change. I think it was a very, very good change.
Cool, cool.
The snail tank, the regular snail tank, used to be 145. It is now 130. It also has armor 5. The transport keyword is now, what is the transport keyword now?
So transport is you place your vehicle, you make your move with your vehicle, and then once you're done, your unit that you had inside gets spit out. They don't get to sit in there anymore.
So I deploy just off of
So
one.
during setup, you choose a friendly core unit or special forces. During the issue order step of the command phase in round one, a unit with transport keyword may issue an order to its chosen unit. If the chosen unit is undeployed, when the unit with the transport keyword deploys, so when the snail deploys, after the effect is resolved, the chosen unit deploys by performing a speed one. So once you're done deploying your tank,
Mhm.
the unit inside just gets spit out.
So can I move, like do my deploy move and then move again, or just right off the deploy movement?
It just says the when the transport keyword deploys after the effect is resolved. So once you deploy, the chosen
Then
unit
it switches
deploys
up.
by performing a speed one move.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it got nerfed, right? But it's just a way to give a unit a scout, like a big scout move, and giving it a scout that normally would have recon intel, right? Because
Nick
we
hates the change because he
we
he can't put his bad batch in the bus. I told Nick we're gonna have to like let Nick live the dream. We're gonna have to play a legacy game with Nick and let him just use the bus with the bad batch just so he could get it out of his system.
it's so funny. Yeah, it sucks that they got nerfed pretty bad. Yeah,
Because that's what
I
Grayson was
agree.
talking about too. I can't wait till I put my bad batch in my bus. Put him in the bus. They're just getting close to getting shot.
I don't know, man. I played a game proxying Bad Batch. They were ridiculous good, and the old school rules. I don't even want to know how ridiculously good they are now.
Mm,
The Snelltake also got a missile upgrade, so now it has two
armament.
missiles. Yeah, armament. Moving on, we got the AAT. Used to be 175. It is now 165, so went down 10 points. It looks like that's the same. It does have impact too on its artillery cannon, and it
It's,
does have armor 5. Most importantly, it gains surge to hit, which that's cool. It did not have that at first. And you know what I like about the cover changes for this tank is like barrage doesn't feel that bad now. Like you could barrage, heck, really good.
I never thought Barrage was bad,
It was bad in the sense that when you're shooting somebody at heavy cover, you're always taking two off the top. So it was always
but you
going to
got
be,
red dice. You're usually hitting four.
well, yeah. So if you take two off the top, you're getting four through, right? Whereas if you shoot the high velocity shells, right, you're usually getting four through off the high velocity shell. So you can take an aim, shoot, and then you're
But
getting four through.
my thing with the Barrage thing was like so I kind of like how the whole my whole argument with the whole non-lethal BX shots was that I would love to have the Pierce. I would love it. But at least at the time, the suppression game kind of mattered, especially with units. So yeah, you could get 4 hits with the high velocity and stuff like that, but you would only get one suppression. When with Barrage, you can get two, and you can get four if you had what's his name,
Locked.
Locked. So it's like you can go from one suppression to suppressed or even panicked if you had Locked. So I was always a fan of the hitting twice, especially if you're positioned already and you don't got to move. Let me get that double suppression every time. I'll just
Right.
keep doing it.
Yeah. And arguably, this. the suppression matters more because they changed the way the suppression
Mm-hmm.
works. So it's not it honestly I could see a case for that. But like imagine you running Lock Dirt in one, make it suppressive, and then you play Kalani's recover card, and then you do the suppress attack again with Lock Dirt. Like there's a case to be made for that. Um, so moving on, that was it for all of the separatist army, like units. Um,
Nothing happened to Maul besides the points reduction, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't go over the point reduction.
Because no, because I'm looking, like I said, I'm on Tabletop Admiral, and Asajj is lit up blue, Maul's lit up blue, and Sunfac is lit up blue.
Yeah, so Maul and Asajj now cost 130. So down from I think Maul was at 165 and Asajj
He should have stayed
was
at
150.
65.
No, man, oh man, I haven't even played Maul yet, but I can't wait. I don't know how much Sun Fact was, but I'm pretty sure he went down in points.
Ugh.
Yeah. So awesome changes. I'm loving what they're doing with the Separatists. They did change some command cards, it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, with Kalani's 3 pip, uh, I don't think nothing changed with Kalani's. Do not understand my our means. Do you see anything?
Mm, For Kalani's 3 pip, or is that the hold on,
That's the
let me
recover
actually.
one where if you don't divulge it, if you divulge it, you pick 3 friendly units, they get reinforcements. They have to have AI. If you
Oh,
don't,
well, that's what changed. The reinforcements itself changed.
well, yeah, yeah.
But I'm saying that's probably the change.
I guess you could use reinforcements to make BXs get closer to his objective.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, but that's what. So if you use Kalani, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kalani came stock with reinforcements. I think it was a number, right? Before they changed it.
Uh,
It was
what?
like reinforcements 2 or something. The old Kalani.
Yeah, it was reinforcement th
So
3.
yeah, you no, no, so that's the change. Because Kalani had reinforcements 3, and
Hmm.
then her command card was reinforcements 2 if you divulged it. So you would have 5 units going after the deploy phase was done.
Well, no, because not 5, because you'd have Kalani itself has reinforcement natively, and then you could choose 3, so at least 4, right?
4. What would it was basically lay out your whole army. I'm gonna put all my good stuff at the end.
Yeah,
So that's the change. That's what it was.
yeah. Well, yeah. You know what? Let's actually go with the point reductions for the separatists before I finish the command cards. So, like I had mentioned before, Maul and Asajj go to 130. Sunfact now gets lowered to 80. Staps go up, and I believe they go up by 5 points, which makes me sad. They go up to 80. Um, Dwarf spiders are
We weren't
now
even taking stabs. Calm down.
now I am like they're going to be good now. Well, they were all, in my opinion, they were always good. It's just that other things outshined it. Um,
Didn't
yeah,
Decas change?
yeah. So spiders went down by 5 points. Decas are now 60 points, so they went down by 10 points.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. They the sniper went up 10 points for the BXs, which is huge. And
You
the
got
B
200 points, dude. It's not huge.
I want more, okay? Give me more.
No. You can't be like, I was gifted 200 points. Damn, 10 points for snipers is kind of expensive. Like, shut up.
They also raised the shields. The shields used to be 10 points. They're now back up to 18 points, what they originally were.
Did you really ever take shields
Oh yeah. I think you take
on the
shields.
strikes?
No, not the strikes. You take them on a
Okay.
full squad. Um, I think that was the better choice than the Vibra Sword. There's a case for the Vibra Sword, but
I've never took shields on the full unit.
they're so good. They take two off the top. What's not to like? And then you play Kalani's or this SCD's recover card, they just get them back.
I use
B2's B2's
good.
like extra B2 is 18 points instead of the 13.
Oh
And
yeah, it's a buff unit.
and then unfortunately the nerf again to the Magna Guard's rocket RPS went up by 6 points. It is now 40 points.
I want to see something. What was that? It was so the Hot Trooper plus the squad for one chunky B2 squad, it's 173 points.
Yeah, it's bro, that's not a bad idea.
It's it's literally the Hot Trooper
Mhm.
and the second squad into the original squad. That's like what is it? So three, six, seven B1s or B2s?
And you can do
Seven B2s and then so seven B2s and then each of them have 2 hit points, so 14 wounds. A 14
yeah,
wound red save unit.
good luck chewing through that. Like
God, but for 173, that's wild.
I honestly I think if you're gonna take the extra squad, you take the ACM.
Who's saving points? No, I don't want. I'm making cover even more irrelevant.
Like I just put six into tabletop Abner right now. That got me up to it's 165 points. Took six of them. That's with the ACM and the squad upgrade. I'm at 990 points. That's only
So it's
six.
so it's impossible.
Yeah, it's literally impossible. Let me see. Let me slap in a T series. Yeah, you can't do it.
You gotta do five.
That sucks. That sucks. That would have been so cool to run.
God, that would have been annoying.
Mhm.
All right, we're on a
Um,
tangent here. Keep going.
I make the rules now. I believe the only change is, I think the change is that his blast. Let me see here. Where are your command cards, sir? Yeah, I make the rule is now critical four. So it doesn't have surge to crit. It used to have surge to crit on it. They just decided to slap critical four onto it. So it has everything else but that.
Critical four?
Yeah, it has critical four.
Why not just make it surge crit?
Probably because they didn't want to slap it on there. Um, it's a lot
It's
cleaner.
literally this
Well, it's a lot cleaner just to type it in at the bottom, right?
lazy.
But yeah, I think other than that, that's it. It's covered up. Place one being token within range of campaign and beyond range of all enemy units. Uh, one Bane token. Maybe that's what changed. It's discovered large well place one Bane token within range of campaign and beyond range of one of all enemies. Oh, beyond range one of all enemies. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much the same, other than that minor change. Poggle the Lester's one pip change. Poggle the Lester's. Let's see what it says on his command card. So his let the execution begin used to read during the issue step, you may issue up to two orders to friendly droid trooper units at range one. During Pog of the Lesser's activation, friendly non-panic droid trooper units at range one of Pog of the Lesser gains five support. Pog of the Lesser may make two attack actions during the activation. And
Oh,
that was
fire support's
hard.
non-existent anymore.
Yeah, that was hard to pull off. Now it reads this round when a friendly corp trooper unit performs an attack, if the defending unit is at range two and in line of sight of Poggle Lesser during the roll attack dice step, the attack unit's surge conversion gains surge to crit surge to crit during the attack. And I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
They changed Dooku's two pip. His two pip now reads Grievous gains Ruthless this round. When a friendly unit is issued an order by this card, That unit and each other friendly trooper unit at range 1 and an LOS of that unit gains 1 surge token. So I played this card against Dallin and I use it turn 1. And
What does Ruthless do again? You get to kill a mini to move or something like that?
no, so it's pretty much new ways to motivate on face up order units. So if they have a face up order token, you could choose to take a damage to get a free action to do something. So what I did when it gets Dallin is since all my B2s were off the board, AI entourage to one B2. Then I gave it to two more B2s. And the Magnus also got entourage because I had Magnus in that list. So I had three B2s with the face of order token and Magnus. And what did you do is you take a wound to deploy onto the field, and then you move again, and then you attack something. Uh, and you take a wound to do that, and it's pretty good, pretty effective.
I hate it.
I like it. Oh, and the surge conversion thing procs twice, which I didn't know. Uh, it procs when a friendly unit is issued an order by the card, and then it procs if it's at range 1 in line of sight that unit begins. So if you play this on turn 1, everybody in the army gets two surges because everybody's off the board and considered always in range, which is really good.
Not bad.
I didn't go over Maul's card. Maul's the Phantom Menace has changed as well. What's
It's his
changed?
infiltrate stuff, right?
Yeah, when it's changed about it is you no longer discard it if you divulge it. You now get to divulge it and play it for its effect, which is really nice.
OP.
But I think that is it for the command cards for separatists, anyways. I guess we'll go over the upgrades. So I wanted to mention the onboard comms channel. I really want to use this upgrade. It costs 10 points and it's for vehicles only, but then you gain coordinate trooper. So it's you can slap this on an AAT and then you don't need the B1 pilot anymore. You can just slap this for cheaper because I think the B1 pilot is 18 points, or this is only 10 points and you get the same effect.
Mm.
You could do the same on the snail tank. You can slap this on the snail tank. I don't really advise for it because you really want to link targeting array onto your AATs.
No,
But
the pilot, you're talking about the pilot or
yeah,
the T
the
series?
pilot.
The pilot's cheaper, it's 7 points.
Oh, well, never mind. You still want link target array anyways.
You can coordinate droid trooper after. That's what I'm telling you, there's a difference, bro, because this says you gain so cards that are not in the game anymore have been removed from everything. So the series pilot says you gain coordinate droid trooper.
Right.
After issued an order, you may issue an order to a friendly droid trooper unit at range 1. Then the onboard's comms channel says, let me remove it real quick. Onboard comms channel says this unit gains coordinate trooper. Now, this is what I'm saying. It might be different. You might have played it wrong, is because on why would you have onboard comms channel and the T series or the droid when the one has one keyword, which is droid trooper, the other one has trooper.
Well, so you wouldn't want both of them, right? Because you could only coordinate once. But in a in a situation, you could do is if you have the play, you could do it only to droid troopers. But if you do the onboard comm channel, you could do it to Maul. You could do it to Sunfat. You could do it to Poggle Lesser. You could do it to Grievous.
But that's what I'm saying. There has to be a difference. Like
There is a difference. The difference is that one is specifically a type of trooper. The other one is a generic trooper.
the catch-all.
Yeah. So it still works for the droid trooper because it's technically a trooper, but you can have other options to give it to other things.
I'm gonna go to the forums and ask because this seems like one of those things where it's
Ooh,
like
yeah, we should make a bet. Let's make a bet about
I'm not betting anything.
it.
I'm just saying, like, I want to ask because, like, I just feel like that's so weird.
It's
Like,
just
I don't
weird
know.
because you don't see it a lot, and now you're starting to see it a lot more. Um, all right, let's move on to some other ones. Okay. The E60R B1 Trooper.
A Rocket Boy.
This makes me very, very upset because the good news is it lost the tap ability. You don't tap it anymore when you fire it, but they gained cumbersome. Uh,
Did.
yeah, they gained cumbersome, which is unfortunate. I liked how my B1s were the only ones that didn't have cumbersome on the Rockets.
Shut up.
And then
Well,
it also,
that made my decision easier, so I'm just gonna cut it for the freaking E5C then.
yeah, and it lost a black die and it was replaced with a white die. Now that's also unfortunate.
But armor's not really a thing anymore. Like, you're just gonna proc it for the red. That's all you're gonna use it for.
But
They
I
don't get
mean,
cover, so you're just automatically guaranteed almost just, Rob might listen to this. You're almost guaranteed the red all the time.
Impact is still good against armor because you get to
No,
bypass all those hits, right?
yeah, but I'm just saying, so they changed one black die down to a white. It's still, I've missed more times on black than I care to admit.
Naturally.
So to be honest, like, as long as that red hits most of the time and they don't get cover anymore, like, it's not really a difference. I mean, you're hoping for the spike, but you're usually just fishing one anyways.
Yeah,
So, but the cumbersome thing's hilarious.
it
So
is
Magna's got the
hilarious.
best rocket in the game,
They do got the best rocket. It's so
unless they got
frustrating.
cumbersome.
No, so far, I'm looking at the upgrades right now. Um, the BX's bomb changed, as all the bomb change have changed except
Melee.
Cabanes, Sabines, and Bosk. But you can now do it in melee or range one. Has blast with poison.
Oh, it
Um,
does have poison.
it does.
Or
It does have better dice now. It used to be a black and two whites. It is now one red, one white, and one black.
let me see.
Um, the squads now. So the B1 squad comes with seven B1s for 38 points. And they all have Indomitable, and they all can be cohesion in range one, and they cannot be transported.
Hmm.
B2's squad one, you only get four B2s, and it's 77 points, which that's a hefty price. Geonosians, you get five Geonosians for 51. That is all the squads out right now for the CIS. But they also said they might come out with more cards. In fact, they are going to come out. Whether that's going to be for more squads, for other units, is yet to be seen or heard. Moving on to the spider droid. That one,
Question.
yeah.
Uh, so the impact, I'm messing with the BXs right now. So the impact grenade says melee to one, impact four.
Yeah.
So that's impact. So if everybody throws a grenade, it's only impact four, or is it
Yeah.
impact a bazillion?
So grenades, I believe, have changed where you're only one guy could throw a grenade, not
Okay.
everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
why I think they give impact four on that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The spider's flamethrower, the only difference is that you can use it in melee and range one. Um, Other than that, it's still the same. The noise mounted ion blaster went up in points again and is now 35 points. But a big but here, because I used it against Rob, is it no longer taps. So it's, in my opinion, that's kind of worth it to take it now because it's got impact two, ion, and it also gained critical one.
This is
Um,
the
the,
spider.
yeah, the three whites, three blacks, which in my opinion is really good because you can instantly deploy and then shoot something at range four. which isn't a bad idea. And
So messing with this real quick to interject real fast.
yeah,
BX squad, not the detachment, the BX squad with the Deoxys Mind Saboteur, offensive push, emergency transponder, and vibro swords comes out to 108 points.
yeah, yeah, that's literally what I have on
And
my.
I might even take off the transponder because but it's just on it's always just in case. I mean, you could always swap out the offensive push for uh Hunter or Tenacity.
You know what I got so far when we were doing this podcast? I made a list with I haven't slapped upgrades on Grievous or Kraken, but I'm taking Kraken, Grievous, three BXs, what you said, the Mind, Tenacity, Emergency Transport, and the Vibra Swords. Two Dwarf Spiders with the Attack Protocol, the Flamethrower, and Link Targeting Array. And then three B2s with the ACM and Emergency Transponders.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be
Yeah,
nasty, dude.
it is good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Like that seems like a lot of fun. So, but yeah,
All
that is
right.
all the changes for Separatists. Overall, Jose, give me a letter grade, man. What do you think
For CIS?
for CIS? What was the letter grade? I really wanted you guys to do a letter grade last episode, but I didn't think about it until I was watching the episode.
Oh, for Rebels, I they were an F, and I give them a. So before we started recording, I said that if you would have kept this Legacy Legion and not changed anything and just poured over the changes to the Rebels that they made,
Mm,
that takes the Rebels in Old Legion and makes them competitive. Um, uh, but I give them new Rebels easily like low B because I still need to see them against like a top tier list.
mm,
Um, but when it comes to Separatists, like I feel like nothing in this game should be an S. But I'm gonna say they're an A. I just feel like there's so much like they AI pretty much non-existent.
mm.
Grievous buffed beyond who knows what. I disagreed with him needing a buff, but I'll take the buff. Kind of like how Maul, disagree that he was perfect where he is, but JR will take that 30-point difference. I feel the same way about Dooku. Um, they're just rockets have cumbersome, but not. I mean, some people were taking them, but the E5S was always the option, the sniper.
Mm.
Um, I give them an A, dude. Like I think that they're just scary now. Like the B1s are so cheap. You can add the second squad and not even blink an eye. I mean, at that point, what are cover rules? Oh yeah, I was used to losing. I'm gonna lose three B1s right here anyways. I was doing that before the game changed. And now I got an extra group with me. B2 stocks through the roof. Changes to everything. Like it's an A. It's an A until I see otherwise. Like I mean,
I honestly agree with you. I would give it an A plus plus because
not
like
plus plus. Calm down.
no A plus 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 plus.
Your bias is showing.
No, they did a lot of good changes. I like a lot what they did with the commanders. STDs were already good, and they just got better. The T series was kind of a filler commander just to get your daisy chain going, but now kind of served a little bit better role.
It's
Uh,
still gonna be in. Well, see,
oh,
here's the thing. It loses. You would put the T series and like your B2s or things you didn't want to trip the AI.
mhm.
I think that the T series just gets kicked to the side now that with the new AI rules.
Well, I mean, you can still use it for a cheap commander, and it still has a direct AI.
You
So
have enough points to bring an STD. Why bring a regular attack?
who knows? Maybe a new unit comes out that you're just like, I want to fit in three crab droids. You know what I mean? Like, because crab droids are gonna have scouting party. That is gonna be really good for CIS because CIS doesn't natively have gear slots to take recon intel. So this is the crab droid is gonna be one of the first units to actually help them get onto the field.
But the things you really wanted scouting either had scout or had a way to get up in there already.
Well,
You don't
manuals
want
don't have
B1.
scout.
Yeah, but I don't know. You don't. Okay,
B2s, B2s now that
that's
they roll red defense dies, like imagine doing that. Imagine a crab droid with scouting party. You give the scouting party to the B2s, then you play Grievous's ruthless card. Now I scout onto it, then I take a damage to move, then I move again, and then I blast.
once again back to my point of this game is too throw dicey.
It's just ways to alpha strike. It's what it really is.
But that's never been the point of Legion. Alpha striking was
Yes,
specialized.
you're correct.
Alpha striking was very
You
specialized.
are absolutely correct. It has never been old Legion. It is now new Legion. But to be fair to your point, back in old Legion, there was only a couple units that could Alpha Strike, and it felt very strong. And not everybody could Alpha Strike. Now every army can Alpha Strike.
Like here's the thing. What is the point? And I thought about this like at work because mind numbing at work.
Mhm.
What's the point of going blue player deploys first? Why do I want to deploy first if you're fucking gonna run up B2s halfway down the field and just blow up whatever I put there?
See, it's funny you say that. Like, I
I
understand the
don't see a
argument.
reason
The
to
reason,
not go first.
well, the reason you be blue player is you choose table side.
That's fine. You could choose
That,
tables like it seems once again it seems like table side isn't even gonna matter anymore.
That's not true. What if there's a great line of sight blocker on one side of the table that is right next to a POI, and you choose table side to be there, and then you can scout there, you could pivotal position behind the LOS, and then now what?
You've seen the tables we play in Legion. LOS doesn't exist.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think we
Like
like the
I
case for
just
LOS just got increasingly.
like look at the tables, hopefully Rob posts them in the Discord. Look at the tables we were seeing that Rob was posting. That Ewok table, you do your B2 method, you're blowing up whatever I put first. Like, and that's the crazy part. Like, I just don't see why, unless you have a table, yes, unless you have a table with some LOS, but we don't see that often. We don't see
Yeah,
that often. Even on the Christmas table. The Christmas table Nick made,
I disagree with
beautiful,
you.
LOS everywhere.
Yeah,
But that's really not going to matter because those point positions where they're going to be mapped at are static most of the time, and they're going to dictate where you need to be. So to be honest, like I'm going to be aiming to not be until I see otherwise. I'm going to be aiming to not be blue player because it literally, I mean, every podcast that I listen to, competitive Legion wise, whether it's Scoundrels, Legion 99, Stabcast, it's literally a unit died first act, first move, turn one, it's like, why would you want to go first? Like, especially when know what, playing you, I don't even want blue player. I'm good. Go deploy your unit first, and I won't play any of my scout units, and I'll wait till those assholes go, and then I'll move. Like, it just seems so weird to want to go first in a world where you're just gonna get alpha.
I mean,
Period.
it's like you said, it's very situational, and unfortunately, you don't have that choice. Because of deciding who's blue player, you both roll black dice. And it's not you get to choose, you are a blue player if you
But
went
one
off
of your
black dice.
actions, or you can steal it.
But why would you? In your argument, why would you want to still blue player, right?
No, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it's you're not locked
That'd
into
be
it.
funny if you could give away blue player. Ah, I'm
You're
giving it
not.
away.
You're.
That's my move.
I don't know. Can you?
No, you can't. You can only
I know
take
you
it.
can steal it. Yeah, but so aside from the role, I don't see a world where like stealing blue player is never gonna be like I'm stealing blue player. Hell no, I'm not stealing blue
It's
player.
like it's very situational, right? And it really is dependent on the table because you're going to either want it for a good LOS or you're going to want it to have a little bit more open so you can so you can do your alpha strike. So that's the only reason, in my opinion, why you would want to take blue player is if you favor a table side more than the other.
This is the only time ever in Legion where I'm like, I want to see the stats.
It's
Because
going to be
old
hard
Legion,
to determine the
oh,
stats.
well, no, that's what I'm getting to it. Old Legion, we used to have the stats where it's like 90% of players took this bid, got blue player won this many times. Like I want to see we have a couple tournaments coming up where they're playing New Legion. I'd be very interested to see where those stats line up in terms of win loss according to player because if Blue's just gonna get alpha because that's a never ending story. So let's say I deploy, I'm blue player, I get stuck with blue player. I
Yeah.
deploy, you alpha blow that unit up or almost kill it. I deploy again, you just pick a different angle, alpha blow that unit up. Like as long as you're gonna have the ways of which you can just shutter across the field and just keep alphaing, like it's the so the it almost feels in a way like 40K. 40K it's different, right? But 40K was I'm gonna move my entire army and then you're gonna move your entire army. Well, a lot of the time when you're the guy who moves your entire army first,
Hmm.
the second guy would just move up and blow everything up.
Right.
And now you're starting on your back foot. It seems like it's that way, but with alternating stuff, like I don't see it's hard for me to be like, man, especially when everybody's like recon intel, scout, 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 recon intel. It's like at this point, like it'd be, yeah, I don't see a reason. Like I don't know. I really want to see win loss stats. When it comes to blue red player, in my opinion, to dictate that because I don't see being blue player being favorable as much as people think it is.
Like I said, it's very situational, and only the time you're gonna really want to be blue player, unless you're forced to be blue player, is if you
The tie
pay.
does the tie situation matter?
It might. I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think it does. Um, but yeah, it's just table side. Maybe ties matter now for blue player, but it's definitely table side. So um, but yeah, that's it for the CIS. I like the changes. You got any rules questions?
I didn't even think about Rose questions, man. I was just like, we started late, and this actually went on pretty long. So I'll get
Yeah.
Rose questions going. I wanna, like I said, I'm gonna go into the forums and ask that if there's a difference with the trooper and with the droid trooper and all that stuff, just to
Yeah.
elaborate. But no, I'll get some rules questions for next week's episode. These faction episodes are just like already long on time.
Mhm.
So trying to squeeze in rules questions is kind of hard when you're already running what, like an hour and a half, 2 hours almost.
No, you're good. Just thought I figured I asked.
Yeah,
Um,
nah.
yeah. Anyways, thank you, Jose, for joining me. And
Thank you for having me.
thank you all the listeners who stood in this long. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.
Deuce.